How did they
Sure.
go through, and how did they invite people to come to Hancher?
Well, it's a long process, as you might imagine. We have lots of agents that we've been working with for a long time who represent a lot of artists that we're interested in. And we're also always receiving pitches from other folks who represent just the full range of artists, from folks who had their heyday in the 50s and 60s and even before that, to today's newest artists. We got pitched Rebecca Black not too long ago, just out of the blue.
You turned her down?
It was hard, but we turned her down. We're not convinced she has a 90-minute show to go with her little song, if it could be called that. So at any rate, Jacob, our programming director, has to sort of sort through all of that in sort of a quest for the things that strike us as artistically worthy of presentation, that have something to say to this community and to the state of Iowa. We're looking for a range of things. We're looking for dance and classical music and jazz and world music and family events and theater. So part of it is finding specific artists that we're interested in presenting, but part of it is also finding a balance in terms of kinds of art throughout the season, if that makes sense.
So you're always looking for different genres, not necessarily
Absolutely,
one kind.
absolutely. We're probably best known as a dance presenter, but that's 3 or 4, or back before the flood, 5 events out of 30 or 40 a year. So.
And then, just since you mentioned the flood, have the number of shows decreased since
The
then?
number of shows, yes, we are presenting somewhat fewer. We're actually up again a little bit this season. This season is a little bit bigger. Part of the challenge, of course, is finding venues that are available, because we have to match an artist we'd like to present in an appropriate venue on a date that venue is available. And so that's been part of why you've seen us do a little bit less since the flood. And it's also a question of cost. We're renting those spaces, and so we have to sort of balance all of those things out to make the season work out. But again, this season it's probably not quite as big as the last season before the flood, but it's getting closer. It's getting closer.
All right. Now, when you are going through the selection process, do you think about your audience? Because obviously, Iowa City, you have college students, but you'll also
Right.
have the citizen population.
Sure.
So you have this wide range of people who take up this space. So do you try to go across the spectrum so that there'll be something for everyone?
We do. We're obviously really concerned about reaching out to students. The original Hancher was built with student fees. It's why we've always had a commitment to having really great ticket prices for students. That's why you can come to still even here post-flood, come to the vast majority of our events for $10 a ticket. We do know, of course, that some of our shows appeal to students more directly than others. You mentioned John Oliver when you came in. We know that students are going to be excited about John Oliver. We hope, though, that at those lower ticket prices, at what we think of as your lowest lifetime price, that you might take advantage of the opportunity to see a jazz legend like Chucho Valdez, or see the really great rock band Stu and the Negro Problem, who you probably haven't heard of, but I guarantee is worth your time, and is definitely worth your $10. And so, yes, students are really important to us. But you're right, we obviously need to serve the wider community as well. And so we do want to have a range of things that appeal to all kinds of different people. Folks with families like myself, older folks who, for example, our audience for the Boston Pops will just be all over the map, from people who remember them from a long, long time ago, to people who have become fans more recently, to people who come to that show simply because they want to see rockapella. So we do try to find as many different ways as we can to serve as wide an audience as we can.